That's because I forgot to mute the YouTube window. Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 20th of February edition of my fabulous live stream series. Sorry about the mix-up there. I had the YouTube window open, but I'd forgotten to mute it, so I was like, why are there so many sounds happening? But we got it all squared away, and it's Tuesday night, and that means that I'm hanging with you fine people. I had a concept for tonight's episode, but I cannot remember what it was. However, I have beer, I have a blade somewhere around here, and we're probably going to talk about something bushcrafty, unless the spirit moves us to somewhere else. Shall we do the housekeeping and then see who's with us in the side chat? If you're in fact watching us, time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, thank you for watching. I love knowing that those eyes are on the content even after the fact. I love seeing the comments pop up in the days that follow the actual live element of the live stream. If at any point tonight you really love what's going on, I invite you to hit that smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you kind of hate what's going on, that's all right. The frowny thumb works as well. And if you'd like to take a more active role in supporting the channel, as many in the side chat already have, then I invite you to click on the join button down below the video. There you'll see that there are two tiers. Two tiers of membership, and it'll tell you what you get for your hard-earned dollars. Without much further ado, let's see who's with us in the side chat. Who's hanging with us tonight? One of the reasons I sort of forgot what I wanted to talk about tonight was because I did not have time to to set everything up beforehand. I came running down, set up, and go. So what do we got here? We got Christy's in the house. How's it going? Can I show that? Yes, I can. Christy's a channel member, personal hero. So she was in pretty early. She was in at a minute to show time. I like the punctuality, Christy. That's nice to see. Don't forget to get some cheese. I did, in fact, forget the cheese. Rats. Canadian in the how's it going, Jerry? He's also a channel member, so personal hero, you know. He's dropping the emojis. Dropping them like they're hot. There we got Grace in the house. How's it going, Grace? Nice to see you. Also a channel member. I think that a lot of people are channel members because Al keeps dropping gifted memberships, which is nice of him. And I do love the fact that you guys get to experience membership in that fashion. That's one of the. You guys know I'm really jaded about YouTube, the service, even though. I said that wrong. YouTube, the company, even though I really love YouTube, the service. The gifted memberships is something that I am all about, all in on. I think it's a great idea. Even though I finally figured out why I can never receive a gifted membership, it is because this account is a brand account. It's not my personal account. My personal account is jesse.corbet@gmail.com. My YouTube account is not a personal account. Ergo, I am not eligible to receive gift memberships, which makes me sad. But that's okay because I have tea. Hey, how's my sound, by the way? I said I hope my mic is working because I didn't check it. And I did a lot of practicing for last weekend's gigs. Steve Grounds, how's it going? Also a member, personal hero. Even if you guys got gifted memberships, you're still heroes to me because you still come here. You hang with me every week. You guys say some hilarious stuff in the side chat. Makes me happy. We got Linda from Lipstick Lodge in the house. How's it going? Linda sends me some cool videos on occasion and links to her own videos, which is nice. Christy and everyone's saying hi. Shawnee, I'm trying something, but I don't know if it works. I just sort of play. There's a canned countdown in StreamYard that I recently discovered, but I don't know how to work it. Like what I would like is hit the countdown and it automatically makes you live because it counts down from 30, and I hit it and it was just counting down, but I wasn't live, so I still had to go live. So I don't know how it works. I may as well just go back to the drumming if I have to work out the math of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Lord Vader in the house. Lord Vader is a channel member. Personal hero. What a night. Such a good night for a man. It's funny because today at the day job, I started texted one of my coworkers. I am so done with this week, man. And he said, it's 9 o'clock on Tuesday, buddy. I don't know how to break it to you. I just sort of felt the world go just a little darker. But hey, what I like about Tuesday nights is you guys. Hey, speaking of you guys, there's Kelly Simmons saying hi to everyone. Also a channel member. Nice to see you, Kelly. Also, of course, it's always nice to see Whiskey Harbor in the house. Whiskey Harbor is a member at the moment, which is nice to see. Long's Quest, how's it going? Skip. Okay, so Linda's saying to go back to the drums. Okay, there's one vote for going back to the drums. Hey, should I make a poll? Okay, for that I have to be in the YouTube side, I believe. I don't remember how to do this. Shizzle. I don't want to hide the chat replay. Okay, that's actually last week's video. Just let me check on something here. I'm going to see if I can put up a poll. A poll. Can I put up a poll? Engage with your audience. Show your support for Raindance Bushcraft. I am Raindance Bushcraft, Holmes. Hide the chat. No, I don't want to hide the chat. I want to put up a poll. How come it's not letting me put up a poll? Okay, let me pop out the chat and see if that's going to give me engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. Start a poll. Okay. Should I go back to drumming as a quasi count down? Okay. I say boom. There it is. Jerry has got loud drumming and music going on up the street here. It's the last night of Carnival, because I believe that Jerry is... Are you traveling right now? Are you somewhere else again? Or do you guys just have Carnival in the snow in your chunk of the country? David is just saying hi. By the way, T-minus 6 days. Okay, good to see. I like it, David. I like it. Okay. So I guess maybe David's not going to be hanging with us. So if, in fact, that is the case, who else is a moderator? Just in case somebody starts trolling again. Man on the street. How's it going, Al? Nice to see you. So since you're here, maybe that'll be my 10 o'clock beverage right there. What do you think? I know what you think. Whoop, I missed something. Oh, Kristen is asking Dave what that countdown is for. I believe it's for... I think that's the countdown to when their host guests leave. That's sort of what I'm getting. Because the countdown is very slightly wrong for next time I'm live streaming. Which is also an event of massive importance in David's life, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Actually, he just says it's still here. I know it. Tim, Kiki in the house. Screaming at Eddie Van Halen solo in the house. Need that. My dogs are hiding. I think Tim is letting off some steam. Kristen says, oh my God, still that long to go. Yeah, that sounds like... I feel for you, man. I don't think you've had the best few weeks. Christy says that the sound is good, which is excellent because I did not have time to test it. I get really paranoid about this now because of all the problems I've had. I'm like, oh, please just work. Just work, you know? Yeah, I can't do gift memberships due to the nature of my channel. That's all right. That's all right. Out. At least I know. Because what was bugging me wasn't, I want to gift membership. What was bugging me was that I didn't know what the tech problem was. And on like the YouTube pages and everything was how to take a gift, how to get a gift membership, how to be gifted a membership, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, yeah, except it's not showing up for me. So now what? And I did a deep dive during one of Russell's live streams, I think, because that's where I said, hey, I know why it's not working for me. And it's because you had just gifted another 20. And I was like, okay, I'm finding out why. Because that's the part that's killing me. And I looked at everything and I just sort of came across, like you had to drill down on YouTube's site to get to that part. I was like, that's not very user-friendly, guys. Believe me, I know user-friendly. I do it for a living. Excuse me. Hey, how's it going? Oh, 17 watching and only 8 thumbs ups. Really? What is with you guys? Oh, yeah. Now it's 20 watching and 9 thumbs ups. Am I not pleasing you guys with my scintillating discourse? My witty repartee? Huh? Is that what's going on, folks? Or are you just cutting me deep for the fun of it? I mean, I guess that's legit, too. Shawnee, are you here? You keep asking me about the glasses, right? Yesterday, I went to choose some new frames, so I will be wearing new glasses within a couple of weeks, which will be nice because it means I can wear my glasses here. Because right now, I can't. And not wearing my glasses all the time is giving me headaches and stuff, but it's going to be good to have new specs. But so I tried on a few pair, sent some pictures to the missus, and the ones that we both like the best look practically identical to these. It's really funny. They're a little narrower, like this way, but they look almost exactly the same, which is pretty funny. Just seeing who got No Drums do a bass line intro. Oh, if I could figure out how to plug my bass in at the same time as having my voice, I think is probably just as simple as plugging into the other input. But I would really have to work on levels and stuff, and that just means having time to mess around with it some evening during the week. So I just got to find the time. Maybe if I can get that to work. If I can get that to work, I might see. We might see a little bass action one night. If I put up a pole in this basement, that's what would happen. First swing around it, everything would go. So that's not going to happen. Also, I can't do that. Oh, you didn't do your live. You did a short Facebook live. I do Facebook lives on the semi-regular. Just making a little cocktail, not on my Rain Dance channel, on my personal channel. What? On my personal Facebook page, I do like a cocktail video every now and again. You know, hey, I'm bored. Let's make a cocktail. Oh, I did a really good job on that. So good. Okay, bye. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, you're in Curaçao. Okay, nice. When are you coming back, Jerry? Am I already late? Oh, snap. I am so late. Peanut. How's it going, mister? How's it going? I don't think we're going to have Russell tonight, by the way, guys. Do not believe so. Do not think. Because, who's he got over? He's got someone over. It's one of the two names he brings up a lot. But anyway. I love some batting. don't get too crazy about it. So yeah, Jerry's sitting on the balcony hanging with us. It's probably nice and warm down there. Got a beverage. Hey, who's got a beverage? Oh, I forgot to do the beer. I have an Irish red ale tonight. I'm going to just say hi to a few more people and then we will pour the beer. Hike with Mike in the house. How's it going, Mr. Mike? Okay, everyone's just saying hi. Okay, David is lurking, but in spirit. That's fine. Hey, and there's Sharon. How's it going, Sharon? Okay, I know where I am. I am late, but it's not too bad. I shall now show you the beer. This is the Achalant. Achalant means kind of harassing, or irritating. Achalant is someone who's like, oh, you're bugging me. This is by Brasserie Malt Company. Irish Red Ale Cremers. Creamy red ale. The flavors: caramel, toast, and hazelnut. 18 IBUs, served between 6 and 8 degrees Canadian. I shall read you the poorly translated English write-up. Go ahead and open it. Give it some oxygen. Take in its aroma. Give it a few seconds to breathe, then let your olfactory senses take over to experience the full pleasure of this great vintage a little longer. Drink up and discover this sumptuous coppery solution by Malt Company. Purple Prose. Let's pop this baby open. It's not a baby. It's a can. Okay, Mr. Pedantic. Do 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 do. Am I blowing the pour? Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. Woo! I say woohoo! Look at that. Looky there. I had this uncomfortable moment several months ago. Come on, sinuses, because I often say like "looky da," and I had this thought that maybe someone's gonna think that I'm trying to copy Scrambled Dough with his look at that flavor, boy. But then I was like, oh, you're just being silly. Cut it out, silly man. Look at it and looky da are not the same. Okay. So, the tasting notes, the notes of the tasting. Smells nice, bright, coppery. Malty, a little touch hoppy, but not too much. I could drink this more. When it warms up, I will not like it as much. I can tell you right off the bat. But right now, it does have a coppery taste, like there's a metallic thing. Something a little citrus there. Nice color. Yeah, it's good. Is it my favorite beer? No, but it's pretty good. Al, I asked you if I'm pouring blue for 10 o'clock, right? Was the answer to that a yes? And of course. All right. Let's just sort of... Destiny. Hey, y'all. At the Via Rail, ready to board for Toronto. So I'll be listening. How's Curacao, Canadian? Hey there, Peanut Trucker. Glad to see. Hey, she's just saying hi to everyone in one big go. Nice, Destiny. That takes some skills. So, is that Via Rail train on time? If so, I would be impressed. When I went to camp on Russell's Land, I should probably just say when I went to Russell's place at this point, the train was bang on time leaving Montreal and an hour and a half late coming back at the end of my trip. And it's funny because David Evans, when I was hanging at his place first, he said, man, Via Rail's never on time. I was like, what are you talking about? It was like, it was to the minute on time leaving Montreal. And on the way back, I was like, okay, I know what he's talking about. This is awful. Like every now and again, there'd be like, ding, train's delayed by another 15 minutes. By the time it finally showed up, I was like, okay, I don't think I'm getting the last bus home in Montreal, kind of thing. I did though. It wasn't that bad. Man, excuse me, it's just rounding everyone up in one go too. Nice. I'm just seeing if dum 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 dum. What is that? Dum 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 dum. Yeah, Shawnee, I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. It's gonna be so nice to be able to see. My eyes really changed over the past year. Um, but I realized like it was time anyways. I think I've had these for 5 years, 4 or 5 years, kind of thing. It's like, all right, it's time to do it. Make that work insurance work for itself, I guess. Um, Destiny says this witty repartee until the rest shows up, and then it's all about "I lube you." That's fabulous. I love it. Uh, yeah, Shawnee, they're almost identical. They're very slightly more narrow this way, but like if you didn't see them right next to each other, you'd say those are the same glasses, man. And I would say, yeah, I guess they kind of are. I was really thinking I would go for something with a slightly thicker frame this time because the ones before this were a thicker frame. But I like those ones. It's all about like how your eyes are centered in the lenses, right? You can walk in and say those are so nice, and then put them on and like, no. Yes, Kristen, it's Ray who's there. Yes, so he probably won't be joining us tonight. Ray's over, so Russell's not joining us. Blah blah blah. Oh, nice, Destiny. You're gonna hook up with some friends from uni, doing a gal shopping spree, and then you're gonna go and look at some properties. I like it. I am happy to hear that. So is that like a full weekend or a 3-day affair, or are you just going for one day? Oh, David's doing a Marcus tonight. He's on his phone. When I'm on my phone, I don't even bother trying to at anyone because I make so many typos on my phone that like no one would ever see their name highlighted. Excuse me, he says, how much do I practice each week on my drumming? Each week, practically never. I practice in the run up to gigs since we're going to be playing like about 60 hours on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of St. Patrick's Day. I'll practice a bit up until that. It's I have sort of a degenerative arthritis in my wrists, so it's really painful to play that thing for too long. Like when we're gigging, I can't do 2 songs in a row. I do one song and then I go back to bass for a few songs, then I can do another one. So like I really can't practice, spend an hour practicing ball run anymore. Like I mean, back in the day I practiced a lot. But I've been playing with this band for 21 years, you know. There's a lot of stuff that we don't really have to practice that much anymore. There are some songs that we've been playing for 2 decades that if I don't practice and practice and practice in the run up to a gig, they still kick my arse. So, but the Borana, I don't practice that much. Al's got a roll and I love it. Okay. Little keyboard bass. Coming home Thursday night. Okay. Wow, I am late. I didn't realize that. Maybe I should just sort of. Wait. Linda was told she had to wait 24 hours to go live on YouTube. Really? What's going on with that? I didn't know that. Ian swings in with I second the baseline intro. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, Destiny, I don't understand it either. When I'm on my phone, I don't even bother trying to, like I say, hey there, friendlies, and then I might comment on something if I really need to. But I just watch when I'm on my phone. I just had a few. Nice, Jerry. Who in my family are the artists in my family? Well, that would have been me at one point, but it's been Years since I last picked up a paintbrush. When I was a kid, like I went to art school my whole life. I started like weekend courses at the art gallery, at the Manitoba Art Gallery, or whatever the provincial art gallery is in Winnipeg. And then I just kept it up when I was in elementary, all the way through to grade 9. I was at a school here in Montreal called FACE, which is Fine Arts Core Education. So you do math and French and geography, right, and science, and non-electively, as in part of the core courses, you do band, choir, theater, art plastique, fine, painting and drawing and stuff, right? Which meant that school days were long. They were, I think, 7:45 until 4:30, and your weekly schedule had it cycled so that 2 weeks in a row were not the same, so that they could fit all these courses in. That was from grade 3 all the way to grade 9 when I left and went to a normal high school. But by that point, I was already apprenticed to my mother's cousin was a painter who had in turn been apprenticed to one of the big Quebecois painters, Bordeaux or someone. And so I was apprenticed to him, doing paintings and drawings and stuff. But then when I discovered the camera, I dropped the paintbrushes completely. I almost never draw anything unless I'm trying to plan I have some hand sketches for what I would like my new channel logo to be. Have no time to make it though. But whenever someone asks me why I don't paint and draw anymore, I said, because everyone has to disappoint their family that savagely at least once in their lives. But Camille, if she decides to go for it, she could be an artist. Absolutely. She's got a real artistic flair. She does paintings and stuff. But I don't think she thinks of it as something to go to school in and make a career out of. Which is fine. I mean, my dad can really draw, but I mean, he was a carpenter and then a building inspector, right? I mean, then he was part of a carving group run by a very big name, West Coast native carver. But he isn't doing that anymore either. I mean, he moved from Vancouver to the Okanagan, so. And the native carver is now dead. I don't know. Is that a long story long? Excuse me. Did I actually get to the crux of the answer, the center of it? Oh, you had onion soup. Nice. I do love an onion soup. I can't eat it very often because of the salt, but. Jerry, did you pick up a bottle at the Curacao Distillery? I'm just sort of trying to catch up because I realize I'm really, really behind. I'm just going to skip down because I feel I am so late. I'm skipping down. If I've missed anyone, if somebody popped up and I haven't said, oh, speaking of which, hi there, homie. How's it going? If I decide to do a knife episode again one of these weeks, I'd like to get Homie Omi to come on and talk knives because his taste in knives is way different than mine. But he's got solid reasoning behind it. I have solid reasoning for why I like the 4-inch, but his reasoning and mine do not really cancel each other out. Really, they're both very legit reasons for wanting two very, very different knife sizes. Oh, don't forget the poll. Right, but I wasn't sure if it was... Okay, so the poll is... All right, I'm just going to end the poll. So should I go back to drumming as a quasi countdown? 72 people said yes. 27 people said no. The entire poll was 18 votes. What I want to do, if I ever get any freaking time, is record a 30-second drum part and edit a little video together, sort of as a branded, as a Rain Dance Bushcraft countdown. Don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to get any time. Country boy. Thought it was Monday. It felt like Monday for me too, buddy. Oh, you had a long weekend because it was Family Day, and it was Family Day for people outside Quebec, but in Canada, and it was something else for Americans. Someone's day. It just goes to show you that I was in the only jurisdiction in North America who worked yesterday. Canadians, like, with all the rowdiness, you can just hear me. Should I speak louder? Should I yell into the mic? Why don't you just put some headphones on? I'm just trying to catch up. Oh, I'm so late. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was just falling further and further behind. All right. I've just gone all the way to the bottom because I'm just never going to catch up otherwise. If anyone has come in and I didn't say hi to you, say hi. And I will make sure to say hi to you because I really don't like that when I miss people. But I just realized I was getting later and later. Oh. Well, then thanks for answering the artsy-fartsy ways. Linda watched a bear attack reenactment yesterday. This guy saved his life by using a 3-inch blade on a Kodiak bear. Jeez. I would not be... Well, the thing is, he was probably going on adrenaline, right? The shift hits the fan and you just act. Whereas in many cases, if you had stopped to think, you would die because you wouldn't act. Did Al say that I'm pouring blue for 10 o'clock? So one of the things I wanted to talk about, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it this week or next week, but since I plumb forgot what I was planning to talk about this week. Excuse me, says federal workers don't get Family Day off. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, 0 Quebecers get Family Day off. I work for a company that is based in Montreal, but my team is, thanks to COVID, my team no longer all lives in Montreal. They live in, most of us are here, but there's one in British Columbia. There are 2 in British Columbia, and there are 6 in various parts of Ontario. And there's one who lives like part-time in India, I think. So like some of the team had yesterday off and some didn't. But anyways. Linda says he had a few injuries and he lived. Yeah, well, he lived, right? He lived. What is more important than that? Nada. Country Boy says, what kind of beer is that? Is something gross based on your past beers. This is an Irish red. It's an Irish style red. I mean, it's made here in Quebec. Oh, you said yes to the blue and asked if I got more green. I can't find green here right now. If I do find some, I will buy another bottle for sure. Absolutely. I have heard, by the way, on a Discord of a whiskey channel, somebody told me that now that the Proper 12 has been bought by another company, it's no longer a pile of shift disguised as a bottle of whiskey. So I may pick up a more recent bottle of that and sort of AB the two. But, yeah, I cannot prioritize buying a bottle of Proper 12. But I would like to find another bottle of green. I'm really pissed that I broke that bottle. I mean, it made for kind of a funny moment in my video. But I'm pissed that I broke that bottle because it was still half full. hurts. It hurts so much. Oh, baby, make it hurt so good. So I'm going to let that sit until 10 o'clock. Did I show you guys last week that I purchased an expensive scotch? Yes, I think I did. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, he can't actually send it to me. He sent me money for whiskey before, but I had to actually do the buying myself because it will not get across the border. St. Patrick's is coming. Yep, and between the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday, I'll be playing 30 hours that weekend. So the Monday, I will be tired and probably sick. The Tuesday, we very often lose our voices for the week following St. Patty's. So, if I can do my live stream without just that week, I'll probably sound like hello, guys. This is me. With no voice. It's awful. Well, it's funny because that's a really intense time, and like by the Sunday night part of that weekend is sad, right? Because the only people who are still there in the audience are the people who are like, no, it's still St. Patrick's. I'm not going home. I got to hold out to the bitter end. Like they're falling asleep. Some of them are like just so drunk they can't even stand. And they're past the point of being like belligerent or dangerous because they're done. And we're standing on stage and we're just done. And the waitresses and the barmaids and the waiters and all them and the bouncers, they're all just done. And then like finally 2 a.m. hits and everyone's like, oh, we can all just go home. And that run starts on such a high note and it always ends on this really depressing kind of down note, Now, Al, did those get sent back to you or did they just disappear at the border? Because if they just disappeared at the border, that's an expensive drag. Linda says, lately I've been sounding like Marge Simpson when I talk too much. Five Spices. What was that? Five Spices? Must be some repeats? I've only ever seen like 3 episodes, so I'm quoting something way out of context here. But excuse me, none of the bands do St. Patrick's for the love of the music because the love of the music doesn't carry you through that entire weekend. That's a payola weekend for everyone who plays it. Oh, you crumbs. Just disappeared, yeah. Don't try. Oh, that's expensive. Crumbs. That is expensive. What the hell was that? You guys hearing stuff? The payolas, yeah. Yeah, they brought out a song recent-ish, like within the past 4 or 5 years. That seemed like it just popped out of nowhere. What was it called? Because like I was like, these guys are still doing stuff. I mean, they hadn't been, but they brought out another song. But yeah, that's a like I hadn't even thought of them in years when that song popped out. But yeah, they're pretty good. They're a band of a time, but it wasn't that bad a time. Right. One thing I wanted to ask you is, I was kind of thinking, and I don't know if I have the time to put the work in to make this happen, but maybe when I have like my interview shows or my panel discussion shows, it might be a nice thing to do like a little 5 or 10 minute trivia quiz between the discussion part and the second hour. Would you guys be interested in something like that? It's tough because this isn't a full bushcraft crowd, and it's not a full off-grid crowd, and it's not a full homesteading crowd, right? So I've been trying to figure out how to make that work, because some of the other live streams I watch, right, it's a Scotch live stream. So everyone watching is going to know the, at least half of them are going to know the answers to certain things. But with this crowd, it's tougher to sort of make that work because it's not sort of unified in that way. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Hold on a second. Is somebody knocking? Thought someone was trying to get my attention, but no. Where is this love? Anyways, I don't know. What do you guys think? Think I should try to work something like that out? Maybe make it general camping trivia or something. I don't know. This well-known woodcraft author lived between X and X and wrote one book or something. Excuse me. What's my favorite song right now? It's hard to say one favorite. Like I could give you like an all-time top 5 maybe. Right now, songs I really like. Just thinking, like when I put on, like when I pop on the Apple Music, I will often listen to stuff like maybe, excuse me. What are my favorites right now? Wow, that's a tough one, It's just like I've suddenly blanked on songs. One song I listen to a lot is Megitsune by Baby Metal. It's a Japanese heavy metal group. Pineapple Kryptonite, which is by Atarashi Gakko, which is another Japanese band. I've been listening a lot to some of the old Gordon Lightfoot stuff. Canadian Railroad Trilogy, I will listen to any time it's on. I've been listening to it a lot lately. I was going to say Home for a Rest by Great Big Sea, but no, I've only been listening to that one a lot because it's one I kind of have to work on to nail during gigs, because that one will kick my butt. I've been doing it for 20 years, and it will kick my butt if I don't practice the crap out of it. Been listening a lot to The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Oh, and I listened to Piano Man like twice or 3 times this week. There's something about the piano and the harmonica especially that really takes me back. Like, it's very evocative of a time in my life. A simpler time, a long, long time ago. Excuse me, is asking what everyone's drinking. Whoops. Well, I've got a beer and I've got a blue. Man on the street is also drinking blue, but he is drinking the come on, fool, how come you're not popping up? There we go. Is drinking the high end blue. Ian saying Van Halen. Little Van Halen action. Nice. Panama by Van Halen. I don't know. What's everyone else listening to right now? Give me a second here. Now, if Russ was here, he'd be making fun of me for this. There we go. All right. Jesse, you think you're getting another instrument soon? No. I don't believe so. Look, there are bass guitars I would love to have, but I think if I was to get another instrument, I would probably replace my Boron. Not replace it. Get another Boron for gigging with, because the thing about my Boron is it's irreplaceable. It's by Fred Halpin, and when he was doing them, he made Borons for some very big names. He made Borons for Great Big Sea. There were a bunch of his. One of those big Irish dance troops, Riverdance, or the other one, the other Flatley one. One of those. He did a bunch of Borons for them. Really nice guy. Did not like the tipper he made, but tippers are cheap. And he sent me 2 tuning keys, one to use and one to lose kind of thing. His Boron design is patented, and when he passed, his son was not interested in making drums. So nobody was making them. I believe his son is either going to start making drums finally, or he's sold the patent. I don't know. I think I got mine in 1999. Let me just check that, guys. Yes, signed by Fred Halpin, $199. So I got this in January of 1999. It is beat to hell. Like here, it's all chipping off because that's where I clipped my mic onto it. But yeah. But yeah, so if anything happens to it, it's not replaceable. So I was thinking of getting something else, to take out of the house and gig with. But I don't know. I don't know if I have to. Why are you asking that? Did I say something that made me say? There are some basses I would love to have, but they're like win the lottery first kind of things. Shawman. Shawman represent. Linda says she's going to Huntsville and we're looking for gaming computers. If you get a gaming computer, I'm going to expect to play a little online Left 4 Dead. I haven't played that game in years. Are you showing off with this, Al? A little King James action, a little high-end blue. Oh, Country Boy just finished. Okay, so you just finished making a wallet. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, sure. This is what I have as a wallet. Yes, and yet not totally. I'm a little ambivalent about it. It does what was advertised to a certain extent. I do like not having my wallet in my back pocket. I like this form factor, but it's not a leather wallet, I do like that it is RFID blocking and everything, but I've had this for a long time, as you can probably tell. Beat 2 shift. I like it when stuff starts to look really used, though, right? That's not a like a hanger queen or a drawer queen or whatever it is. You know, it actually gets used. I like that. I like the stuffs to look used. How many instruments do I currently own? I'm down from my peak. I'm down to 2 bass guitars. I used to have more. I have a I have a guitar, a 12-string guitar. There's another. There's a 6-string there. I have a baron. Somewhere I have an octave mandolin, but I broke the nut on it, so it's not usable. I think that's about it. I have a tin whistle somewhere that, oh, this was an expensive mistake. I have this tunable handmade tin whistle somewhere that got crushed years ago. So I no longer consider that something I have. Mm. Yeah, I used to buy a new bass guitar every little while. I was up to, I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 at one point, but there were only 2 that were coming to the pub ever. So I was like, why keep the others sitting in the corner? There's one bass that I miss. It was an old Gibson Thunderbird, like I think a 1982. Beautiful, long, lean, heavy because they're made of mahogany. But yeah, I miss that bass. But I don't know what I would use it for at this point in my time on Earth. Whatever, you know, it was 4-string, and I play exclusively 5-string these days. That sounds all snobby and everything, but it's not. I play 5-string, and the way you play 4-string is different. So if I ever switched to 4-string, I would have to spend the entire gig looking at the fretboard, because like all my motor memory and everything is, because on a 5-string, okay, you play across the fretboard more, and on a 4-string you play along the fretboard more. Country was an old school kind of guy. That's why you took up leatherworking. Yeah, leatherworking. Uh, you can really get into a zen of it when you're in the zone and making stuff. Yeah, yeah. The mandolin definitely needs fixing. Absolutely. Also, one of my basses needs to be tuned up in a big way. They both kind of need to be set up, but one of them more than the other. I'm gonna see Man About a Hearse. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, I muted myself when I went upstairs. Sorry, guys. Four minutes until Scotchy Scotch time. So I will. Yeah, as this beer is warming up, I'm not liking it as much. That's for sure. I wonder if these cans are just too big. Like by the time I get down to the lower third of the can, it's just warmed up too much because I'm not, like, I don't pound it, right? I like sipping a little tea here. Not tea. Oh. See? Tea. I meant to say tea. Absolutely. Boo, boo, boo. That's weird because your comments are appearing on YouTube before they do on StreamYard. Excuse me is asking. Oh, message retracted. All right, well, never mind then. Country Boy says, working with leather is totally zen for me. Full-time job and weekend job. I take a lot of mentally sitting down and making something from nothing is so relaxing. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. Absolutely, absolutely. My day job just destroys me. By the end of when 4:30 hits, I am done. Absolutely done. In fact, lately, I've had a real hard time getting my YouTubing stuff done because I sit down to do some stuff or I sit down to plan or whatever and I just fall asleep. So I gotta figure out how to swing that. Beer's done. Squeeze Me is asking if Sharon makes stuff or has a hobby. I think, not everyone needs to have a hobby as such, but I think you need to have something in your life. Oh, she's knitting a queen blanket currently. So Sharon Q does knitting. Nice. Here's an interesting question from Excuse Me. What hobbies does everyone have? I think Sharon, we know, does the knitting. We know that Country Boy does the leather work. Tim, I know, does the photography. So I don't know. What does everyone do? I mean, for me, it's all about the bushcrafty stuff and the music stuff and the. I guess that's about it. I used to direct Black Box Theater as well, but at some point I had to trim some stuff out. So Tim does photography. Oh yeah, and painting. I'd forgotten about that. Oh, woodworking as well. I would love to say I do woodworking as well, but I don't have, like, I have a setup and I do stuff on occasion, but I just haven't really had the time of late. So Sharon is making the queen blanket because they need them at the new house. I guess it's a little chilly up there. I don't know. What do the rest of you guys do? Al, hot rods. Yeah, Al works on cars. He restores cars. Yeah. Excuse Me has a lot of hobbies. Yeah, I used to have a lot of hobbies, but I just couldn't keep it going. Just can't do it. Different blues. Ah, that's nice. I love blue. Blue's where it's at for me. I also love orange, but I like orange as an accent color rather than a block color. A sip of tea to cleanse the palate before going to the whiskey, the Scotchy Scotch, the Johnny Walker Blue Label. just to, to show Al that that it sits near me. Country Boy says, Tabernac. Leatherwork, rice rocket. Okay. 4x4ing, bush. Is that rice rocket? Do you have like one of those $20,000 Civics with the big whale tail on the back? Bush camping, woodworking. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Nice. Sharon also does photography. Would love to learn how to paint. Take it from me, all it takes is agonizing effort. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I did put the work in when I even went to, after high school, I went into graphic design in Cégep, which is how I ended up working in design for whatever. But then for university, I went into communications, but the film stream, which is why I sometimes say, I went to film school, because that's just the simplest way of saying what my university degree, my baccalaureate, bachelor's, right? That was like a franglais moment, Fringlish. My back is in communications with the film concentration. Which is where I learned to love the camera more than the paintbrush. Had to buy a Pentax K1000. It was like the official student's camera back in the 35mm era. We all had to buy the K1000 for school. That was a cool old camera. Those uber basic manual only cameras will teach you more about the mechanics of photography than anything, any course or anything around you today. I liken it to learning. Sorry if you guys are hearing crackling. It's because I keep touching this stuff. I'm a very sensory person, but my hands are so dry that they catch. So I'm trying not to, but it's stronger than I am. I kind of liken that old K1000 to this beautiful thing here as the difference between learning to drive automatic or standard. If you're taking your courses, if you take the automatic courses, you learn how to drive, right? But if you take the standard, you learn how to operate a motor vehicle. It's a much more mechanical thing. Those old manual 35mm cameras will teach you everything about the mechanics of the camera. They will teach you how to, take a light reading, how to really hone your focusing. But they don't teach you anything about YouTubing, right? Or they don't teach you anything about photography, like the elements that are truly important. Image composition, rule of thirds, color theory, stuff like that. Oh, it's a Suzuki. Okay. Linda likes photography. She likes biking. She likes kayaking. She likes camping at home because she lives in the woods. She likes to hike with local ladies. She is going to be swimming in the lake this summer. She does like some gardening. She does some bird watching. She has pileated woodpeckers there. I've seen a lot of the pileated guys around when I'm hiking. In my backyard, it's a downy, I think. Downies that come. Downies are Harrys. They look really similar, but there's a size difference. What do I use most? It's this one here is a 15 to 35, I think, or something like that. 16 to 35. I have a 90 to 140. No, 90 to 70. No, it's the 90 to 140 that I used to use a lot. Of course, I have yeah, a 50, right? 55, 50. Where is it? I don't know. Where are all my lenses? Oh, I know where they are. Okay, I can't show them all to you, but this is just a kit lens, but I find that it's rough and ready for almost anything. It's not going to be as sharp as whatever my 70 to 140. That doesn't sound right. What's on this? Oh, that's another 18 to 55. Okay, so I've got another 18 to 55 here. I think this one's a Sigma. No, that's a Canon as well. You gotta have a nice prime, like a the 50. These days, all I'm really shooting is birds. But YouTubing takes up most of my camera time. If still photography, if I really wanted to get into bird photography, I would have a big honker of a lens. They're expensive though, right? It's your average on like a birding lens is about the same as it cost for this camera. This was a $1,600 camera, right? Throw another 16 to $2,000 on a lens, I used to shoot a lot of street scenes. Go down to the old port. Like old Montreal is very photogenic. But it's like I also used to mountain bike all the time, and since my first daughter was born, my mountain bike has been sitting in the garage. May as well just sell it at this point. So if anyone wants a Cannondale Prophet with a lefty fork on it, I know where there's one just sitting there. Tim got a nice French easel. Is that the one with the places for your stuff? I bought my mother a portable, like an easel with a box for her paints and stuff for Christmas. Yeah, Sharon, I have the same issue as you do. It's like hard to keep up. Hard to keep up with my whiskey drinking too. I'm just jumping down again because I'm getting further and further behind. The 200 is the one I use for the birds. Yeah, I do like close-up shots. What I like is something with a whole lot of bokeh. I really like it when it's sharp, 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 blurry, blurry, blurry. Absolutely. Oh, right. It was President's Day. Right. I was trying to remember because in Ontario and BC and places, I think BC, in Ontario and most of the provinces up here, it was Family Day yesterday. And I couldn't remember what the American version was. I have a photo, a big one on my wall upstairs, taken by my wicked stepmom, as we both call her. There was this old versatile shipyard down on the waterfront in North Vancouver, kind of near the Lonsdale Quay. None of you know what I'm talking about. So it was this great big honking building, and they started tearing it down to turn that whole area into like kind of a park with a walkway. And she went and took pictures of it when the building, like all the panels had been taken off, and it was just beams, black and white. So I've got that up. I framed it. Great stuff. She takes her photography quite seriously. Sharon likes clouds and waterfalls. I do as well. Absolutely. It's just the instinct for me in the natural world now is to switch to video, right? Like I very rarely, most of what I photograph these days is thumbnails for my videos, to be straight. Actually, I just had that realization. Ocean mainly for Tim. Yeah. Considering where you live, I'm not surprised by that at all. Not at all. Just taking a, yeah, maybe I should jump back into photography. Still photography. I mean, there was a time in my life when I had a camera around my neck all the time. I just had it tucked into my jacket. Homie Omi is back, having the ice water. Welcome back to the stream, mister. Yeah, maybe I should take the camera out and do some photography again. What would I photograph? Like, I wonder what my first photo trip would be. Like, not like a voyage, but I mean, if I decided, at the weekend or something to grab my camera and go out to shoot some stuff, I wonder where I would go. Like, I wonder what I would do. Homie Yummy, we're talking about hobbies, by the way. People are saying what they like to do. Several of the people in the chat, they like to do photos. There's at least one who likes to do leather work. I would like to dive into leather work in a much bigger way. I've only done 2 projects, right? I've only done one project. The stacked handle on my daughter's knife is birch. It's not even leather. Country Boy says, I love black and white photography. I have a Canon Rebel XTI that takes amazing photos. Then I convert all the best ones to black and white. Seems like a waste. Where Linda is, there's lots of mushrooms to shoot. That's good to know. Mushrooms are very good for photographing, I find. Just the contrast between them and the surrounding foliage. And it's hard to find a mushroom that isn't going to give you a good photo if you get down low and get in tight. Squeeze is asking Country Boy if he's worked in something I have never heard of before. I don't even know what Cibachrome is. I am way out of touch, though. I also spent I was going to say my whole, but the vast majority of my professional life using Adobe products, right? Photoshop, Lightroom, etc., etc. But when they switched to the subscription model, I dumped Adobe right the hell off my computer. Everything gone. What did I switch to? Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. There was a bit of a learning curve, but I bought them on sale for like $40 each. And no subscription price. Like no monthly subscription. Because I did for a while before I knew what I was going to switch to. I did pay for the Adobe like monthly subscription so that I could use the software, but it's just too expensive. I don't have enough subs and money coming in to make that expense sustainable when there are so many other things that I need to keep buying camera, batteries, and stuff like that. I'm not, because it was expensive. It was like $30 a month. So at the end of the year, right, 12 times 30 kind of thing, I could have bought some good equipment. So why would I pay Adobe? Because the thing is, the world is full of Adobe killing apps. It really is. If you are in any way Linux friendly, then GIMP will do you fine because it works the way the Unix and Linux guys work, right? They'll understand it. They'll be, yeah. I tried GIMP and really did not like it, but I can see the power there. I just don't like, I don't find the way it works to be intuitive. And intuitive is very important when you're trying to be all artsy. It's just, intuition is part of the artistic impulse. I mean, I'm going on a tangent here, so sorry, I'll bring it back, but yeah. Country Boy says, that's funny, I have a ton of mushroom pics. The joys of living in a rainforest. Absolutely. Yeah. You have so much photographic potential where you live. Absolutely. Homie Omi says, when I get to 100 pounds weight loss, I want to come on the show. You can check my stretch marks beforehand so you can make sure I'm not lying. Okay, good to know. Oh, look what Cliff pops in with a squirrel. Were you over hanging with Colin tonight? Colin live streams on the same night as me, so I cannot show up on his live streams. Linda says, the best shot I took was a scene with hoar-frosted trees against a rich blue sky, and I had to wait until I was 67 to get that shirt. Fair enough. Hoarfrost is also very photogenic, though. If you get uptight, up close, if you get uptight, look who's talking. I get uptight all the time. Oh, you were on Haycroft's channel tonight. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Lipstick is telling Country Boy that she's in tall pine trees and birches. I tell you something. One shot I am aching to get one day because I saw it with my little eyes one night. Was I would love to get a shot from a canoe into a forest as the light is really fading. You know when the forest starts to look really kind of black, but there's still a bit of light in the sky. I was sitting in a boat, or maybe I was just across the river. Water, dark, spruce forest, and there was like a stand of about 4 or 5 birches, just these white brush strokes against the darkness. That's why I call birches like ghost trees, because at that time of night, when everything is going dark, but they're white, so the light still sort of makes them pop. They're poetic, man. Mm-hmm. London Drugs can develop, but I think they ship it out. Yeah, they do. They don't do it on-prem anymore. I know that because I have been to a London Drugs in the past couple of years when I was out visiting my dad. Excuse me is bringing David Evans up to speed, saying that we were talking about hobbies. Guys, I gotta see a man about a hearse again. I'll be right back. It sucks getting old. Okay, I'm muting myself, and I will remember to unmute myself when I get back this time. Tell you guys something for free. What I just did with the blanket might be a factor in me falling asleep whenever I sit down on my computer these days. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Okay. Ain't gonna work. I see that I'm not muted right now, Cliff. I think my wife has a 5100. 52, 51. I don't know, but in that line, it's a very nice camera. I was Canon. No, I was Nikon for 20 years before I bought my first Canon, which was a 6D. Back in 2013. That's what I started my channel with. Yeah, excuse me. Good camera as well, but it didn't have the flippy screen. No, David, because I'm muted. Cliff is asking how the weather is. Here it's been snowing on and off. We were -3 to -14 today. Is your Nikon a bayonet mount? I think they're using a bayonet. I am not still muted, Cliff. Come on, sinuses. My favorite pic I've ever taken is a sunrise through a foggy rain forest full of dew-covered spider webs. I can stare at it for hours. That sounds amazing. You guys are brats. I am not muted. Brats. Does everyone think the weather has changed drastically this year? You do not want me to start talking about the weather because it will sound suspiciously political. What time are we at? 10:26. I have time to pour one more glass of the Scotchy Scotch. You know what? No. Nobody answered my question about whether or not I should try doing a little what was the word I used? Like a little trivia game halfway through my interviews and panel discussions. So I guess that means I should not. I'm just trying to come up with new ways to... I want to push the... What am I trying to say? I want to see if I can push the live streams a little bit, you know? Try a few new little things like that. See if they work. I just think it would be kind of cool to structure them a little bit, I guess, but without losing the fun aspect. You know what I'm saying? Whiskey. Freaking squirrels. I came out of where I went to choose my glasses yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And there was a squirrel with a big hunk of bread in its mouth, and I startled it. So it ran up the fence and jumped to the tree and didn't make it. It jumped at the tree and went boom and landed on the ground. And then sort of looked at me, looked around, picked up his bread, and ran up the tree. And I've never seen a squirrel miss before, so I thought it was funny. Yeah, Fox. No, the way I see it, so long as I don't know what your politics are, we can get along. So I don't want to know what anyone's politics are under any circumstances. Um, yeah, because that sounds like a really cool photo, Country Boy. Also, like I don't find anyone's politics interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, there are people in my family who have been fairly large political names, or have been connected to large. One of them was a very large name in Quebec politics, and the other was a member of the federal ruling party at one point, years and years and years ago. Um, and whenever I mention either of these things, people take it as though, by definition, I am I am a member of those parties as well, and I just find that, oh, shut up, just shut up. I don't care. If I, we live in a time when people are pinning their entire identities on a political affiliation, and I think that is the stupidest thing you could ever do, right? Um, Without saying whether or not I even care about our prime minister, if you make your entire personality, Trudeau, then get a hobby. Prime ministers come and go. The politics shift. They're always shifting. So I don't even think about it. I don't care about someone else's politics. So long as we don't talk about it, I don't want to know. Because people really hate each other over politics these days. And I'm old enough to remember when all of our political parties could yell at each other in the House of Commons and then all go and drink at the same bars, because that was just work stuff. And those are the days I want back. And it's not political to say that. It's not political to say that I hate the fact that politics have become so siloed and so mutually hateful. It's not political to say that you miss a time when people could compartmentalize more than they can. It's nostalgic. So I will not be going into anything political. Big green moose, how's it going? The squirrel is not my friend. The squirrel just keeps eating all my damn. Actually, I haven't had that big a deal, by which I mean problem, with squirrels, because I've really switched to a birdseed that has cayenne mixed into it, so they do not like it. They really kind of don't. And that seems to be the magic that all of my squirrel-proof feeders just didn't end up being. They outsmarted all of them, except, like, I have this red house one, and they can't figure that one out because I turned it away from where they could get to stuff, so they can't grab onto anything. And that was the one I didn't think was going to be the biggest squirrel frustrator. But hey, hot peppers in your birdseed, the squirrels tend not to like it. I like it. Like it that way. I like it that way. I can't really sing tonight. I do not have flying squirrels. I do have flying squirrels if I catch them. I'm kidding. I don't really do that. Yeah, something like that. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting political. Sparkle socks can take a long walk off a short cliff. I'll tell you something. I have a daughter who loves sparkle socks. Okay, mister. Yeah, cayenne really, really helps. I mean, it's not 100%, but it really does help. I get such joy watching my bird feeders, too. It's like such a therapeutic thing for me to watch. Okay, there's, because we have cardinals and we have dark-eyed juncos and stuff. And on my suet, you get like the woodpeckers, and chickadees will eat anything from anywhere. It's It's so nice. So when the squirrels come in, like the birds sort of back off whenever the squirrels come in. Like, go away. It's not for you. I thought of maybe putting a tray of nuts on the other side of the yard at some point, but um, some people I've spoken to did that, and it just ended up sort of rewarding them for being in the yard. So they ate the seeds and the nuts. I'm like, no. Yeah, I wouldn't really do that. I mean, I think about doing it all the time, but I wouldn't really do it. Oh, nice. It's crazy how many of my videos. It's crazy how many of my videos have been shot on this iPhone. Um, good cameras, absolutely. I use a tripod though, or like I have some gimbals and stuff, but I bought them thinking that it was going to be a bigger solution than it was, kind of thing. But yeah, so I use a little tripod, a little cell phone tripod. But yeah, great solutions, especially the new iPhones. This is an old one. This is an iPhone 11, I think. The cameras on the 14s and the 5G networking on the 5Gs is so much better than on this phone. I would really dearly love to replace this phone ASAP. Crushed chili peppers. Now, the thing is, I had tried just putting cayenne powder into normal birdseed, but you don't want to do that because birds are fine with the taste of cayenne, but if you've got the powder in there and the wind blows it into their eyes, that's an issue. So I stopped doing that, and I just started buying the Squirrel Buster feed. Fighting snow to fill feeders, so I just throw the black oil sunflower seeds on the snow and stuff suet blocks into the cage feeders. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, iPhone 13 is really nice. I think my wife has a 13. Wait. No, this is an 11. I wonder if I have that right. Hold on a second. Now I gotta check because now I'm all like, yeah, Jess knows what he's talking about. Does it tell me what I've got? Yes, this iPhone 11 Pro. Yeah. So that's an 11. My wife has, I believe, a 12 or a 13. Whatever was the first one with 5G networking. But yeah, I want the 14 Pro, not the Pro Max or whatever, not the big phablet one. No. But I want the Pro because I want the 3 cameras. But yeah, I want to replace that phone. It's old and it's making me really pay for it every time I want to do something. Oh, Country Boy is going phone shopping. Nice. You excited? I never get excited about buying a new phone. All I see is the money. Because the thing is, and not everyone is like this, but these iPhones, these are like $2,000 purchases if you get the ones with like the 512 space. Because the thing is, if you're shooting videos on it, you want a big honking storage, right? I'm not talking about terabytes and terabytes and terabytes, but I think this is a 512, and it's just like it's a lot of money. And you don't have to pay it all at once. I get it. They can just add it onto your bill. I get it. Blah blah blah. I get it. But also bear in mind I'm Canadian, so I pay through the nose every month. Through the nose? Is that the term? Through the teeth? I don't freaking know. But Canada is one of the most expensive countries in the world for cell service, right? So I don't need the mortar and bricks. What was I talking about? Squeeze me. So Squeeze me's got a 13. Nice. Homie says in the States it's cheaper. Yeah, everything is. Absolutely. Linda says, had some big paw prints in the snow last night. Not sure what it was. Take some photos. Throw them up. I'm sure someone here will know what they were. Linda dreads getting a new phone. I just dread spending the money. I just spent money on this thing. You know, so it's like, ugh. And the reason I spent the money on this thing is because, God, do I even want to talk about this? I have a blood pressure problem, and I have to keep an eye on everything. And through my fiddler, well, I know a bass player in Alberta whose life was saved by his Apple Watch because it it pinged him and said your heart rate is way off. So he was like, "What?" And he called. He walked into the hospital, and now he's suddenly got a pacemaker. So I was like, "Oh, I'm sold." And I spent months and months hemming and hawing and like choosing different colors and everything, and showing my wife, and she was finally just like, "Buy one for God's sakes." And then I noticed that if I bought one in Costco, I would spend $70 less, but boring colors. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I've been trying to get myself excited about this purchase by like, oh, such cool color combinations. But I'd rather just save the $70 and buy a boring colorway. I don't believe I just said colorway. No, I'm suddenly a marketing flunky? Marketing gimp? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Hold on. What kind of watch I get? It's an Apple Watch Series something 8. Whatever is their current one. You flash quickly. Oh, sorry. I was just. I mean, because I don't want to show it off because it's not. I'm not excited about it. But I do love the meta aspect of having an analog watch on a digital screen. That makes me happy. I get some joy from that. Country Boy feels the same way, but once that's the thing. Like I keep my phone I try to keep my phone until it's frustrating to use, and this one is now frustrating to use. But I have left phones in taxis. I have one I destroyed by I put it on top of an amp while I was playing a St. Patrick's gig, and the vibration of the bass made it sort of skate across the amp and then fall this way into a pint of beer. And of course, I didn't notice because I was like too busy rocking out. So it spent an entire set sitting in a pint of beer. Let me tell you, that phone was done. It checked all the way out. There was no saving that phone. So like I try to use them until they're frustrating to use, but every now and again, life has other plans. Well, Linda, wolf and bear tracks will look very different. So I think you should get some photos. I mean, I can use like I can answer phones, but this is just the GPS version. This one doesn't have like cellular signal. Like I can use it when I'm close to this, phone. Like, hi, I don't like doing it. I don't know half of what this phone does, and I don't care enough to figure it out. I bought it for the the ECG and all that stuff. I can check my pulse and everything every now and again. But apparently I can use it as a remote if I'm shooting videos or taking photos with this. So that might be what gets me excited about having this stupid watch. Big Green Moose. When will the iPhone 14 Max Pro? No, my next phone will be an iPhone Pro, but not the Max. There's no way. Color wave review. Oh yeah, you noticed that stupid term I use. I hate the term colorway. Why do they say that? It's just a color. Jeez. Linda says the camera on her phone is getting pretty shot. Getting more clean lens warnings. The glass is cracked on the outside. Yeah, okay. So, Linda, you probably need something new to shoot with. If these Apple Watches had a camera on them, it would be totally Dick Tracy, right? Okay. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, but there's no. I don't believe there's a camera on this. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet that there's no camera on this. We are the next generation. Generation X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm Generation X. You guys can be Y and Z if you want. Big Green Moose says it's easy to tell wolf tracks and bear tracks apart. Wolf tracks lead to a pile of small cat collar bells. Bear tracks lead to a peppery pile of larger bells. Fair enough. Fair enough. Should I do a poll? A closing poll? Dick Tracy, I just hate. Well, it's because that was the like the video watch, right? On Star Trek. Star Trek was literally the inspiration for that old Motorola flip phone. Was it called the StarTAC or whatever? Like it was literally communicators are cool. Let's do that. But like, what else? I mean, a communicator watch is still pretty sci-fi, I guess. You're right. I was thinking about something. Oh yeah. So I was in my phone. No, I wasn't. I was in my car. And I said, "Hey Siri, hello. Text the missus."
How can I help?
No, sorry, I didn't mean hey Siri. No, stop. Go away. Go away.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry too. Go away. So I obviously should not have said, "Hey Siri." And it took a text message and it sent it to my wife, and that's where we live in a science fiction world. When your voice interacting with your technology, we don't think of it, right? Because everything's got a dictating function now, but that's where computer working. Remember, like in the original Star Trek, like the future is you talk to the computer instead of sitting there and clickety clacking. I was like, we do live in the future. And we never think of it. We miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't, and it's gone. Like we live in a sci-fi dystopian society and we don't even realize it. Because you get used to, what you get used to stuff so fast, right? Like we don't realize how big a deal the original iPhone was, right? If not original iPhone, then no LG phones, no Androids, well, obviously no iPhones, no, and it changed our pockets forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it changed what we hold in our pockets forever, because the old cell phones were not automatically going to become smartphones. The original iPhone was an iPod and a phone put together and changed everything. It did. It's just we didn't realize it because we lived through it. When you live through historical things, you don't notice them. You just think, oh, this is a cool new thing today. You don't realize that it's a seismic shift in history. Because cell phones are a seismic shift. We're never going to remember things from here on out because we just download our brains into the machine. Do you know what I'm saying? Our memories are going to be shot. No one memorizes, you know, but we don't notice it. Blah blah blah. Just shut up, you know. But anyways, I'm just trying to find where we are. David is free for the night, which is good. There's only like 11 minutes left. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah. I don't know if he ever even said that. In one of the movies said, Scotty, beam me up. I think sort of as fan service. Your kids' Paw Patrol watches have cameras. I think my daughter's, she has like a really basic smartwatch. I think it's got a camera in it as well. I think a lot of voice technology, like those, you know, was it Alexa and whatever's the Google one and Siri. Like, I really do think that they're listening in. I don't think it's spyware in a Big Brother sense. I think it's spyware in an Amazon sense. Like, you know, you can dream about something. Yeah, like you can. It feels like I don't even have to say. Oh, I don't even know what. Like, I can't even think of an example, but like, I will dream about soundproof panels, and then the next day, soundproof panels are showing up in like my Facebook ads. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm talking to you guys. If I say, I mean, I've said iPhone 14, but Amazon doesn't sell those. But like, if I said something that Amazon sells, you know, if I said snowshoes to you guys, it would not surprise me if I got like an advert for GV or something popping up on my digitals, right? And it's because we're being listened to by our devices, but we're not being listened to make sure that we are not rebels. We're being listened to in the name of selling us stuff and making money off of us. Is that better? I don't know, to be honest with you. She might win against another animal tree. Yeah, it's best to keep your dog inside. David Evans says that we are living in a Big Brother watching society. There are a lot of places where you are being watched, right? For instance, the United Kingdom is one of the most videoed societies on Earth. There are CCTV cameras everywhere. You know, there are cameras everywhere in China. There are cameras everywhere. You're always being videoed. But I am not going to comment too much on that for fear that it becomes political. Wait. Alexa is creepy. It says, excuse me. It was talking in the middle of the night for no reason, so I shut the crap out of it. Really? That would weird me out. If I'm sleeping and I'm sorry. What? I can't do that, Dave. Not much around this time of year. I'm not sure where the wolves went. Farther away, den perhaps. Haven't heard from them in a month. Saw a fox saunter through on the security camera the other day. Nice. I like foxes. I like wolves too, but David's like, I got this. The end's in sight, David. The end's in sight. We're coming through the darkness, I feel. Foxes are cute. Give me the evil eye over my granola bar while sunbathing on Pesci Island once. He says, hey, Captain Blanket, stay until 11:15. I don't know if I can. I got to get my daughter to the dentist early in the morning, so I don't know if I can stay until 11:15. Destiny's off to take a picture. Yeah, Paw Patrol commercials coming my way. Absolutely. Yeah. I see someone knew where I was going with my. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, Captain Blanket is pretty funny. I'll give him that one. I'll give him that one. Hey, come on, what's wrong with my blanket? I mean, David's wife does class work, but I mean, what's wrong with my little blanket? It's not thick enough, actually. That's what's wrong with this blanket. I mean, it's snuggly and cozy, but not quite enough. Like, I almost feel like I need an over blanket. But I like this stuff. I don't know what this is called. I have always in my entire life called this icing. Called this the icing in the blanket. I don't know why, but I always have. And I do love this stuff. I can't keep my, like, I can't stop doing this, even though I know it's making these weird sounds for you guys because my hands are so dry. Stronger than me. Pam does make really nice work, though. Man, there's a quilt on their wall that is something else. I love walking into someone's house and falling in love with something in there. You know, I find so many houses these days just look like something in a magazine. You know, they just look like we have friends who are designers and stuff, but their houses, it's like it's like they're sets. You know, they're just like film sets or like a photo. In French, we call it un shooting. You know, photo shoot sets or something. Everything is placed, and everything is $1,000, but nothing is unique. Or in one corner there'll be an antique piece, right? Yes, we got that while we were in Maine. You know, just a little jaunt kind of thing. And so I love walking into a house and seeing something made and something impressive and something to just fall for. Why you gotta be like that, Destiny? What's up with you? Why you gotta be like that? Oh, my snap. Look who's here. How's it going? Just got out of work, heading home. Probably catch the last 10 minutes. All right, that's fine. We've got another 4 minutes. Country Boy says Russell isn't here to apply the peer pressure, so Dave is stepping up. Captain Blank, 11:15 isn't late. Yeah, except that I'm busting for a piss again because I've been drinking all night and I'm old. What does Destiny say? I've got so much. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about, Destiny. You've been like hiding. Okay, so you can fit. Yeah. Okay. I was like, Destiny, what are you talking about? I get it though. Everyone's saying hi to Jim. Another sip of the whiskey. Yeah, for those of you who are just joining, Destiny's on her way for a kind of a girls' night out. Not really a girls' night out, but like a girls' shopping trip, and gonna go and look at some off-grid properties. Destiny, I don't remember if you said you're taking the train, right? A Via Rail train? I like taking the train. I gotta tell you guys. I mean, Via Rail is not always on time or anything, but there's something way more relaxing about sitting down on a train and just sort of. I could take a nap if I want, but flying, there's something just more relaxing about taking the train than flying. I'm sorry, it's like I lost the thread halfway through a sentence there, so I'm trying to recapture it. Like going by train is so much less stressful. You're not dealing with the same BS as you do in an airport. And you know, I'm not someone who loves flying. I'm not someone who's afraid of flying. I just don't like it. I feel that getting there 2 hours before going through a cattle line at security, doing all this and all that and all the other. It's just like such a drag. Is the train slower? Yes. But there's an old school romance to taking the train that is not there in flying. You're not being packed like sardines into a large steel tube. And just the way the train moves is nicer. You know? It's everything about going by train is nicer. Except I used to have to take the train from Montreal to Vancouver every summer and then back again. So you're losing like 5.5 days of your summer, well, of your whatever, either way. So there is that. But still, and there's like the observation car. When I was taking, actually, when I started, oh, land sakes, I'm aging myself. When I started doing that trip, it was CN Rail. Okay, this is before they split off Via for the human transportation. And back in the day, like there was an observation car that I could just go and sit on. And when we were going through the Rockies, I would just go and sit up there, right? Like windows, big bubbly windows. So nice. Hold on. Yeah, that's all right, Jim. I knew that you were driving. That's why I sort of said that everyone's saying hi to you. Squeeze Me says, take a train through the Rockies to Calgary. Yeah, man, the Rockies is amazing for train travel. Homie says, it's not a good time for trains. Are there train issues down aside from, that thing near, was it North Palestine, East Palestine, whatever that town is where there was a train spill? Yeah, train from Calgary to Toronto is a long trip. But I tell you, I used to take it from Vancouver to Montreal when you could go straight across the country before they tore up some of the tracks. Thank you, Mo Rooney. Ooh, sorry guys, that was political. Sorry. Sharon says that land is expensive right now, and it's probably just going to get worse. Ah, excuse me, his grandfather worked for CPR. Nice. Yeah, that's it. There's something lulling about a train. I'll sit there and it's so nice, and done. I'm out. When I took the train I was going to say Russell's, but I actually went to David's first. I had a nice Nalgene that I had, and I filled it with water because, gotta have your water, and left it on the freaking train. Oh, I was so pissed. He passed me a water bottle for my trip. Yeah, that's the problem, right, David? You're not going to be getting that time back. That's too bad. Linda says, live chat is getting asked to see, need new glasses. I'm getting new glasses, and if I'm getting new glasses, anyone can, because I put everything off. I forget everything. Oh, yeah, so excuse me, did the same ride. Yeah, so nice. I loved looking out at the Rockies. Yeah, Destiny, the dome is nice. Oh, homie says that all of our trains have Civil War era brakes. Is that what is that down there? Amtrak? I think Amtrak even went bankrupt at one point, didn't they? Or they were under bankruptcy protection. Charles and Annie showing up, even though it's technically all right, David. I will stay till 11:15, but I am definitely busting for a piss, so I'm not staying any later than that. Oh, you're in Michigan. I think you said that. Guys, I'm going to see a man about a hearse. I'll be right back. Here's the thing. I posit unto all you fine people. Because I like a long road trip. Because there's a podcast I listen to where every episode, they only come out every few months, but every episode is like 5 to 7 hours long. It's called Dan Carlin's History Hit. No, it's not. It's called Dan Carlin's... I think it is Dan Carlin's History Hit. Excuse me while I look it up. No, Dan Snow is History Hit. Okay. Also good, but not this. Not. Let me look for it. Hardcore History, I think it's actually called. I think it's called Hardcore History. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Okay. So if I'm behind the wheel, I put that on and I just go. And it's a fabulous podcast. If you're into history, which I am, because he's very into history. He's not a historian. He's not a trained historian. He was a journalist. But, I mean, this guy is a geek about history. Okay. And I like driving through the night with that on or with something on or with one. And the magic of that is I don't have to have these on. I don't actually have to have these on now. There's nobody talking to me. It took me until like 7 minutes after the live stream to whatever. I just want to sort of like... So in that way, I'll take driving over train, but I do feel that train is in many ways the best way to travel. Like if I'm not going from Montreal to Calgary, right? And I kind of want to be there within 4 hours kind of deal. I love the train. And maybe it's because I have good memories of being a kid and going to Vancouver. When I used to spend when I lived part-time there, part-time here, thanks to the magic of parental divorce. Maybe it's because I've got memories. Maybe it's because I have an appreciation for old school stuff. Or maybe it really is sort of the most elegant way to travel. Because you don't have to deal with all the airport crap. And you don't have to stop for gas every, blah, blah, blah. Or make sure they don't fall asleep while driving. I have done that before. Dangerous as funk, by the way. I don't know if any of you have ever drifted off while driving, but I cannot recommend it. Hold on a second. I just want to see where I ended up here. I'm going to hide the current. Okay. Oof. Totally skipped. I'm totally behind. Well, that's gross. Thank you, country boy. Country boy. Russell is... David is asking where... Gosh, come on. David is asking where Russell is. He's got Ray over, so he said he wasn't going to be around. What, am I not interesting enough for you? Is that what's going on here? David. I'm just trying to catch up here. I'm like... Apparently, Excuse Me is going to be dealing with a winter storm on the West Coast. You know what? That's not very nice, David. I just don't know why you're hating like that. 2 years ago, took the Amtrak from Flint to Chicago with the grandkids just to experience train travel. It was a lot of fun. I love train travel, as I may be making it obvious. Yeah, homie, I mean, Hardcore History. Absolutely. So you're familiar with it. Such a good podcast. I just love it. I like history, though. I like historical stuff. I listen, like, if you looked at the list of the podcasts that I listen to, you would think this guy is no fun at parties. Well, you'd be right. I'm no fun at parties. But shut up. But like, I like Dan Snow's History Hit. I listen to Hardcore History, Cautionary Tales with Tim Hartford. Cautionary Tales is pretty good. 99% Invisible, the Canadian Bushcraft Podcast, Deconstructed, Dramface, Essential Craftsman Podcast. If you're into woodworking, the Essential Craftsman, no, that's bombast. The Essential Craftsman, it's sort of a more general building sort of blah, blah, blah. Explore, a Canadian Geographic podcast, Generation Anthropocene. Gone Medieval, because I'm into the history. The Inquiry, Memory of Palace, the Mortise and Tenon podcast. Okay, if you're into woodworking, Mortise and Tenon podcast is for you. The Paul Kirtley podcast, because I'm all bushcrafty. Planet Money, Star Talk Radio, because I'm into the stars. Tides of History, and a bunch of whiskey podcasts. Lots of stuff if I'm going to be driving somewhere long, you know? Excuse me, says, oh my God, did not know that Jess could beatbox. Did I beatbox? I mean, I don't beatbox for free. I beatbox on stage in like one song. Did I beatbox? I wouldn't have done like a full-on beatbox. I would have done like a fooling around beatbox. Whatever I did, I'm probably better than that. Yeah, when I was taking the train between Montreal and Vancouver, like there wasn't, the Canadian wasn't there yet. Like it wasn't packaged the way it is now. It's just train travel all the way. You know, the Canadian is very expensive, but it's a nice route. There's the thing. If you're going from Toronto or Montreal to Vancouver and you take the train instead of driving, you're saving yourself. Hold on a second. You're saving yourself 3 days of Are We Out of Ontario Yet? Followed by 3 days of flat. Do you know what I'm saying? Disney also has a bucket list to take the train. Trains are awesome. It looks like Homeo may have just won the first trivia question. Good enough. Am I muted? I'm not muted. Destiny, don't be a brat. I'm not muted. I know I'm not muted. Lipstick lost her rail pass when her ex left CN. 11:13, so 2 more minutes, and I'm not going any later because I got to be up early in the morning. I would love to have a distillery. I've mentioned that before. A little craft distillery. That'd be fun. Country boy. Yeah, I'm plenty interesting. Yeah, I'm interesting. All right. 15 people watching, like 30 whenever Russ is around. Yeah, I feel really good about myself right now. Charles, you think that is what David is implying? He's always implying. That guy's always implying. I am a little hungry. I could really go for some cheese. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm just going to skip to new comments. What? Linda wants a Malbec? Fair enough. David says, I love traveling through Northern Ontario. I have never seen Northern Ontario. I want to. But like full on Northern Ontario, never seen it. I want to. This year already looks like it's going to be a bust for me because we have to take a trip and blah, blah, blah. But I would love to do a little sort of round trip of, you know, seeing some Ontario bushcraft / off-grid / homesteady YouTubers and, you know, stuff like that. David, I'm going to tell Russell you said that. Malbec is a wine. Charles, you've always wanted to travel to Canada. Yeah, well, the nice thing about Canada is it's so big. You could just wherever you are in the world, you can throw a rock and hit us because it's just that freaking big. Which also means though that wanting to visit Canada can be 2 or 3 or 4 very different things depending on the time zone you hit. So 5 different things or whatever. Like the West Coast, very rugged, very boom. The surf boom. I said East Coast, right? I'm talking about the East Coast. Very sort of North Atlantic, booming waves, rocky shores, fiddle music. The West Coast, much more North Pacific with everything that brings. Sort of the misty pines, the totem poles. Absolute paradise. Interior of BC is and Alberta. Sure, guys. Tall, craggy mountains. The coast mountains, the Rockies, the whole Cascadia thing. Very mountainous, and they're young mountains, so they're beautiful and they're just right up there into the sky. Then there's like the prairies are flat, glowing sort of golden fields of wheat, kind of. I watched my dog run away for 3 days, kind of thing. Ontario has, it's got Toronto, but it's also got some nice stuff. Northern Ontario is apparently spectacular. They've got a lot of cool rivers. There are elements of Ottawa that are really nice. I think the Bytown Market is a great place to spend a day. Then Quebec has Montreal. No, Quebec City also, like, what people forget in this country is that Canada happened in what is now Quebec City. The Plains of Abraham is where Canada happened. It really is. It's where the French and the English were like, okay, we're doing this now. Both commanders died. Wolfe and Montcalm, the commanders of the English and French troops, both, forget it, they didn't make it through the day. The English won, and that's why Canada is the way it is today. The Plains of Abraham these days, like, they have huge concerts there and stuff for Saint Jean Baptiste Day and all that stuff. There's so much to visit here, dude. There's so much to see, and between me and my fiddler, there's 4,400 kilometers. So, like, visiting Canada is a very long, very sort of active concept. But if ever you do decide that you're going to buy some tickets, drop me a line and I'll make some suggestions. And I'm sure other people here will make some suggestions on where to go. Because you do need time to go from the West Coast to the East Coast. Oh, you want to go where David Evans is? Okay, so that's in Ontario. It's a nice part of the country for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's after 11. Okay, so I'm just going to see who said what, and then we'll shut her down. Destiny's finally rolling. 9:17 p.m. and we're rolling. It's sure as hell ain't 9:17 here. Long live the cheese. You guys are all about the cheese. David says, just being interesting now and wants to leave. So I've been boring up until now, right? Yeah. David, I can't. Well, it's 11:19 now, so if I go to 11:30, it's not that much. Okay, we'll go to 11:30, but then I'm done. I'm out. The cheese stands alone because Jess won't get it out of the fridge. Yeah, I'm not leaving to go to the fridge. I'm going to. Yeah, exactly. Country Boy says Canada is not a day trip. It is not a day trip. That's for damn sure. Absolutely. I'm not pouring another whiskey though. I don't even know if I'm going to pour one more whiskey. One more whiskey. I don't think Al is here anymore, so I'm not drinking another Dram of the Blue. I'm having Burial at Sea by the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. It is a peated, not a heavily peated, just a peated, but it is oceanic A bit of an iodine thing that I don't really love, but the other notes are extremely nice. I think I've read you guys these tasting notes before, but should I read the tasting notes one more time? An old puffer receiving a Viking burial in the sound of Jura. As the petrol tank ignites, the gathered crowd eats herring from their wellies. That is evocative of kind of exactly what it tastes and smells like. Excuse me, says, Jesse, you want cheese? You are getting sleepy, very sleepy. You'll go for the cheese now. I'm not going to go for the cheese now. No way. Cheese soup, oh my land. Guys, don't make me hungry. Linda says, no cheese or Malbec until Friday. I'm having pizza that night. We have pizza or Chinese or burgers every Friday. It's our like restaurant night. It's our order in night. Yeah, excuse me. I think that Jim's idea is delish. Excuse me. Yeah, there's an iodine note there. It's not overpowering though. Because I've said before, like, I love oceanic notes. I love brine. I love smoke. I love peat. I love, but especially with Isla peats, very often. This is why I don't really go for Lefroy. You'll get an iodine note that I don't. If it's too strong, I do not like. I have a bottle in the other room there that I'm never going to finish. It was an expensive mistake. David's asking where Shawnee is. She was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. Nose, taste, finish. That is exactly the order in which one does this. Pizza and wine is a good combo. Absolutely. Yes, I do love brie. I absolutely do love brie. I used to think that camembert was better than brie, but I'll take either one. Let's face it, cheese is cheese. So different from that Johnny Walker Blue. Man, there's a real astringent note. Dries out the tongue really fast. Very spicy. Like the blue is all soft, caramelly notes. There's a hint of spice, but it's not like, it's also 40% alcohol, whereas this is a cask strength. What are we talking about? 50 something? 58%. 40% alcohol by volume, which is what the Johnny Walkers are, and what a lot of Macallans and stuff are, is the minimum percentage of alcohol for something to be called whiskey. Like a lot of companies will go to 43 just to show that they're not giving you minimum effort for your money, but whatever. Things, in my opinion, start to get exciting around 45, 46 and up. I think 50% is the pinnacle for me. But these cask strengths can be anywhere from like 55% to like the high 60s. You sip it a whole lot slower when it's around 60 odd percent than when it's 40 odd percent. That's for sure. Where is the next trip back to Russell's? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I would love to go back this year, but I really don't know if I'm going to be able to make it work. A lot of that depends on the family stuff, and we're supposed to go to a destination wedding, so I'm going to lose 10 days there. Yeah, excuse me. That sounds amazing. An onion soup with Emmentaler. I like it. Emmentaler. As far as nightcaps go, a cask strength scotch may not actually be the best way to go. I wanted to. I would like to get a laptop again so that I can live stream from anywhere, because I would love to live stream from my kitchen and make you guys a Raspberry Rock cocktail. It has to be one night when Russell's here, because I did a video where I was trying to work out the Raspberry Rock blah. Start again. I did a video where I tried to make a raspberry rock cocktail, and I tried a few different varieties. But I think I've nailed it down. I'm going to do a video on it, but I would love to be able to just live stream from anywhere, like back in my workshop the way I used to do, or somewhere so that I can make some bushcraft related cocktails like I used to do. Laptops are expensive though. Like mega money. Country Boy asks if, hold on. Yeah. Country Boy asks if how you even get the tasting notes. Absolutely, you really do. You put like a drop of water in this, and it'll open up in a different way. But like right now, I don't really want to waste you guys' time. I mean, we're at 11:26, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. But yeah, there's an iodine note, but there's something oceanic happening there, like a brine. What I'm getting is it's a rocky beach. Mist is in the air. It's not like a dry, sunny day. The sun is poking out, but it's misty. It's still damp. Somewhere up the beach, there's, let's say you've had a fire, but you've poured water on it, so it's a damp ash. Lemons. But is it lemons or is it a lemon candy? I think a lemon candy. There's a smoked fish. Spruce forest. Like you're on this beach and it's like mist into a spruce forest. It's like a British Columbian beach, not a California beach. The arrival is very, very sharp, very spiky. But there's a kipper note. There's a smoked fish note. At the back of the tongue, espresso. I was going to say burnt coffee, but it's more of an espresso, which sometimes they're sort of hoving into the same territory. This scotch is a canoe against a beach. You've put out a fire. You've still got like a wet ash smoke scent. Rocky beach with like, seagrass or whatever growing. And, like a spruce forest. It's not like dripping wet, but it's a misty day. That was me being a serious whiskey anorak, but he did ask the question, so I figured I would do some tasting notes. Wait. I just saw good cheese is hard to find somewhere. Oh, that's Charles, so that's in the Philippines? Excuse me, ask if most of my dry proofs are 40 to 60. Most of them are over 45%. I really don't tend to buy 40% unless, like, that's a 40%. But I think the Johnny Walker Green, I believe, is 43%. Johnny Walker Green is a really comparatively nice dram. It really is. I mean, this is nice as well, but the Johnny Walker Green has a certain something to it that speaks more to me. David, yes, I should have said boreal forest. Absolutely. I'm just saying. I'm just seeing who's. Excuse me, says Jess. Too bad the man on the street can't adapt. The thing is, this bottle right here, which I recently bought out of an absolute act of stupidity, It's within the same price range. This is a $300 bottle. This, oh man, this is this. Octomore. I have been waiting years to own another Octomore. This is a 13.1. The last one I owned was a 9.1. And when that bottle was finished, it broke my heart. I've been thinking about it for years. So when this one went on sale for like closer to 200 than 3, this is still a lot of freaking money though. I just had to. It's unopened so far. And I am I'm so glad to have it. 59.2%. So that's pretty high octane. And this is going to be one of the most peated whiskeys you will ever come across. What's our ppms? 137.3 parts per million. Okay, so that's heavy freaking peat. Like almost nothing comes to the Octomore peat range. Poetry in a bottle. It's 11:30. Good night to David. Have a good night. I'm glad you could pop by. I really do hope that you can make it to the end of the visitors. Country Boy, yeah, $300 for a bottle. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like this is $314 here in Quebec. The Octomore is very, very close. I have a threshold after which I tend not to go. You know, like $220, and even then I'm really stretching it. So that was an act of silliness, but I don't know. I've been thinking about Octomore for 7 years, kind of thing. So, I like that. Excuse me. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Thing is, Charles, I have a couple of bottles that if I didn't open them and sold them on secondary, they'd be worth way more. But no, I don't do secondary. I don't collect, and I don't buy Macallan. So everything I have will one day be opened. It may sit there for years before I open it because I'm looking for just the right event. But I'm opening everything I have. I don't know. Because I feel that the collectors and the speculators have ruined what whiskey could be. So it would feel really cheesy to do that, you know? So David is at. Ron is showing up. Wow. How's it going, Ron? I was supposed to finish this 33 minutes ago, so I'm just about to shut her down. I'm just saying, oh, snap, look at this. Now Nina's pointing, showing up. Guys, I gotta go to bed. I gotta be up early. But yeah, so I don't know. I agree with you. $300 for a bottle of booze is horrible. Excuse me is asking when I'm going to be opening this Octomore. Yeah, it'll probably be this year. I think I have a lot of unopened bottles, but I also have a lot of open bottles, and I have to bottle some down before I start opening other stuff. That's the thing with like my other channel being a whiskey channel. It's like every week I'm opening a new bottle so that I can shoot a review video. But what I have to do now is catch up on my second review videos, right? Like how I do my first review when I uncork it, and then I do my second review when it's down here. And in fact, I should probably shoot my second review of this bottle so I can finish it. But yeah, so like I've been opening a lot of bottles because it's more exciting to open a new bottle than it is to review one you've already been drinking, right? But I got to sort of, okay, no, we're going to do this. We're going to bottle some down so that I can open some other stuff and not have like 50 bottles open, because that's crazy talk. You know what I'm saying? So it is currently 11:35. David had asked me to stay on late, but he's gone. So we're going to shut her down. Excuse me, it says, God, for land's sakes. Excuse me, says, well, I appreciate everyone being here tonight. You all stay safe and happy travels. P.S. Hi, Nina, stay safe. So I guess excuse me is on his way out. Country Boy's inviting me to bring that $300 bottle of hooch to BC. Even, okay, so people are starting to shut her down. Yeah, I see some people are dropping off. So, yeah, we're going to shut her down here until next Tuesday, which will be, again, 9 till 11. Unless things get interesting after 11 again, but you know what I'm saying. So between now and next week, everybody, please stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and be kind to one another. If Russell was here, we'd be waiting for a pea soup, but he is not. So I'll just say good night, everyone. Bye-bye.